What if I told you that the digital revolution, the world of computers and the internet wasn't created by solitary geniuses, but by teams of diverse, collaborative individuals? How can we harness the power of teamwork to drive innovation in our own ventures? Welcome to Beginner's Mind. I'm Christian Soschner, and today we have an exciting book review lined up for you. We are exploring The Innovators, how a group of hackers, geniuses, and geeks created the digital revolution, written by Walter Isaacson. If you have read Isaacson's previous works on Steve Jobs, Benjamin Franklin, or Albert Einstein, you'll know that he has a unique talent for bringing the stories of remarkable individuals to life, highlighting not just their achievements, but also their collaborative spirit. So, why did I choose this book for the podcast? Well, success in investing and entrepreneurship, as Charlie Munger wisely points out, depends on a multidisciplinary approach. Walter Isaacson emphasizes a similar notion in The Innovators, where he shows us that the best game-changing solutions historically come from diverse and collaborative teams. My approach with these book reviews is to dive deep into the anecdotes and stories of success, offering them to you, our community of entrepreneurs and investors. I hope these narratives, paired with my critical coaching questions, will inspire you to think about how these models can help improve your companies. Here is a quote from the introduction of the book that sets the stage perfectly. The computer and the internet are among the most important inventions of our era, but few people know who created them. They were not conjured up in a garret or garage by solo inventors suitable to be singled out on magazine covers or put into a pantheon with Edison, Bell, and Morse. Instead, most of the innovations of the digital age were done collaboratively. There were a lot of fascinating people involved, some ingenious and even a few geniuses. This is the story of these pioneers, hackers, inventors, and entrepreneurs, who they were, how their minds worked, and what made them so creative. It's also a narrative of how they collaborated and why their ability to work as teams made them even more creative. Just as combining the steam engine with ingenious machinery drove the Industrial Revolution, the combination of the computer and distributed networks led to a digital revolution that allows anyone to create, disseminate, and access any information anywhere. In this episode, we will cover a brief background of Walter Isaacson and his expertise, followed by an overview of the book's core themes and concepts. Then we will delve into 10 key stories that highlight crucial lessons for innovators, entrepreneurs, and investors. I will share my personal reflections and critiques, and we will end with some actionable takeaways and coaching questions that help you apply these lessons to your own work. So sit back, relax, and let's journey through the fascinating world of The Innovators. You won't want to miss this. Before we dive into the book itself, let's take a moment to understand the man behind The Innovators, Walter Isaacson. Walter Isaacson is a prolific American author, journalist, and professor. Born on May 20, 1952 in New Orleans, Louisiana, Isaacson has had a remarkable career spanning several fields. He has served as the president and CEO of the Aspen Institute, a nonpartisan policy studies organization the chair and CEO of CNN, and the editor of Time magazine. Isaacson attended Harvard University, where he majored in history and literature. He later studied at Pembroke College, Oxford, as a Rhodes Scholar, graduating with first-class honors in philosophy, politics, and economics. His academic background laid a strong foundation for his future work in journalism and writing. Starting his career in journalism, Isaacson worked at the Sunday Times in London and the New Orleans Times before joining Time magazine in 1978. At Time, he held various positions, including political correspondent, national editor, and editor of new media, eventually becoming the magazine's 14th editor in 1996. In 2001, Isaacson became chairman and CEO of CNN, guiding the network through the events of 9/11. In 2003, he transitioned to lead the Aspen Institute, where he served until 2018, after which he became a professor at Tulane University and an advisory partner at Perella Weinberg Partners. Isaacson's writing career is equally impressive. He has authored several best-selling biographies, including Steve Jobs, Benjamin Franklin, An American Life, Einstein, His Life and Universe, Leonardo da Vinci, and The Codebreaker, Jennifer Doudna, Gene Editing, and the Future of the Human Race. Each of these works showcases his ability to delve deep into the lives of extraordinary individuals, revealing not just their achievements, but also their collaborative efforts and personal struggles. His biography of Steve Jobs, published shortly after Jobs' death in 2011, became an international bestseller, breaking all records for sales of a biography. This book, based on over 40 interviews with Jobs, provided unprecedented insights into the mind of one of the most influential innovators of our time. Isaacson's expertise and credibility as a biographer stem from his meticulous research and ability to tell compelling stories. His approach often involves extensive interviews and access to primary sources, allowing him to paint a comprehensive picture of his subjects. In The Innovators, Isaacson brings the same level of detail and narrative skill to explore the collaborative efforts that led to the digital revolution. His deep understanding of the intersection between technology and humanity makes this book a crucial read for anyone interested in innovation and entrepreneurship. With such a distinguished background and a knack for uncovering the human stories behind great achievements, Walter Isaacson provides a unique and authoritative perspective on the digital revolution and the innovators who made it possible. Now that we have introduced the author, let's dive into the heart of The Innovators by Walter Isaacson. This book provides a sweeping overview of the most important people and inventions that have shaped the digital world we live in today. Isaacson takes us through the interconnectedness of the web, the pervasiveness of smart devices, and a rapid absorption of technology by society. The core argument of Isaacson's book is that successful, widely adopted innovation doesn't come from individuals working alone. Instead, it's the result of teams of people working together. Modern-day giants like Google, Apple, and Microsoft were all born out of collaborative efforts. For example, Larry Page and Sergey Brin developed Google together, Steve Jobs and Steve Wozniak were the duo behind Apple, and Bill Gates and Paul Allen created Microsoft. The book's subtitle, How a Group of Hackers, Geniuses, and Geeks Created the Digital Revolution, emphasizes this necessity of collaboration. Isaacson starts The Innovators with the story of Ada Lovelace and Charles Babbage. Lovelace, the daughter of the poet Lord Byron, was the first person to describe how a set of programming algorithms could run a calculating machine. Together with Babbage, she laid the theoretical groundwork that eventually led to the code-breaking machines used by Alan Turing during World War II. This early example sets the stage for the book's main thesis. Technological innovation builds on previous advances and often requires collaborative effort. The book is structured around groups of people responsible for 10 different innovations: computers, programming languages, transistors, microchips, video games, the internet, the personal computer, software, online connectivity, and the web. Each chapter paints quick and usually overwhelmingly positive portraits of the collaborators behind these technologies. Isaacson aims to give a broad overview of how one innovation flows into the next, restoring credit to sometimes forgotten figures like the women who programmed the first punch card computers and the modest Tim Berners-Lee, inventor of the internet. Isaacson also traces the evolution of technologies and the companies or businesses built to create them. For instance, he describes how Herman Hollerith's punch card system for the US Census eventually led to the creation of IBM, which later commissioned Gates and Allen to develop software for their personal computers. To provide practical value for the listeners, I've identified 10 key concepts from the Innovators that are essential tools for fostering the next generation of innovation. For each concept, I will describe the tool, present a story from the book illustrating the tool's outcome, and then give you 3 questions to reflect on your business or investments. We will explore the power of visionary thinking, the art of rebellion, the importance of persistence in the face of rejection, and the transformative impact of customer centricity. We will uncover how diverse teams, a supportive culture, and a willingness to embrace serendipity can ignite innovation. We will also delve into the importance of leadership, the role of public awareness, and the power of open systems. Let's dive into these 10 tools for innovation. Our first tool for fostering innovation comes from the story of Ada Lovelace, often considered the first computer programmer. Her collaboration with Charles Babbage on the analytical engine provides a perfect example of visionary thinking and the importance of imagination in technological innovation. Isaacson introduces Ada Lovelace as the daughter of the famous poet Lord Byron. She inherited her father's creativity, but channeled it through mathematics, driven by her mother's belief that math could tame her Byronic tendencies. Lovelace's story begins in the 1800s amidst the backdrop of the Industrial Revolution. The analytical engine designed by Charles Babbage was an early conceptual model for a general-purpose computer. It wasn't just a machine for performing preset tasks. It could be programmed and reprogrammed to carry out a limitless array of tasks. Ada Lovelace's insight into the potential of this machine was profound. She envisioned it as more than a mere calculator. It was a machine that could manipulate symbols, process data, and even generate music. This conceptual leap laid the groundwork for modern computing. In her notes on the analytical engine, Lovelace introduced the idea of a computing machine that could process any form of content, whether it be numbers, text, or music. She published what is now considered the first computer program detailing an algorithm for generating Bernoulli numbers. Lovelace also anticipated future debates about artificial intelligence. She famously argued that machines could not originate new ideas but could only do what they were programmed to do, a notion that computer pioneer Alan Turing later called Lady Lovelace's objection. Ada's story underscores the power of visionary thinking. She was able to see beyond the limitations of her time and imagine a future where computers could be used for far more than just calculations. This ability to envision the future potential of technology is crucial for innovators and investors alike. It allows you to spot emerging trends, identify disruptive technologies, and invest in ideas that may seem far-fetched but have the potential to change the world. Ada's collaboration with Babbage also highlights the importance of bringing together diverse minds and skill sets. Ada's mathematical background and Babbage's engineering expertise were a powerful combination. They were able to see the world from different perspectives, which led to a deeper understanding of the potential of their invention. This is a lesson that resonates today. The most innovative teams are often those with a mix of backgrounds, experiences, and perspectives. Here is the core lesson for entrepreneurs and investors. Visionary thinking and imagination are crucial. It's about seeing beyond the current limitations and envisioning the broader potential of technology. Let me share a story about a successful collaboration where diverse skills led to breakthrough innovation. Consider the collaboration between Steve Jobs and Steve Wozniak in creating Apple. Jobs had a vision for how personal computers could revolutionize everyday life, but he lacked the technical expertise to build it himself. Wozniak, on the other hand, was a brilliant engineer who could bring that vision to life. Their combined skills, Jobs' visionary thinking and Wozniak's technical prowess, led to the creation of the Apple I and eventually the Apple II, which transformed the entire computer industry. This partnership demonstrates the power of diverse skills coming together to create something groundbreaking. Now, let's reflect on how you can apply this lesson to your own work with my coaching questions. The first one is, what is one technology today that you think is underappreciated but has massive potential? The second one is, how can you foster visionary thinking within your team? Are you actively encouraging your team to think outside the box and explore new possibilities? And the third one, how can you create an environment that welcomes diverse perspectives and encourages collaboration between people with different backgrounds and skills? As we continue our exploration of the innovators, keep Ada Lovelace's example in mind. Visionary thinking and imagination are the first steps towards groundbreaking innovation. Stay tuned as we delve into our next tool for innovation. In our quest for innovation, we often ask, who invented the computer? It's a question that sparks curiosity, but the answer is more nuanced than you might think. Isaacson reminds us that invention is rarely the work of a lone genius. Instead, it's a collaborative effort, a tapestry woven from diverse minds and skill sets. Isaacson writes in the book on page 84, an invention, especially one as complex as the computer, usually comes not from an individual brainstorm, but from a collaboratively woven tapestry of creativity. Our second tool for fostering innovation is all about the power of collaborative teamwork. This story takes us to Bell Labs, where a diverse team of scientists and engineers came together to create one of the most important inventions of the 20th century. The transistor. The invention of the transistor is a prime example of how innovation is rarely the result of a lone genius. Instead, it often comes from the collaboration of great minds from diverse backgrounds. At Bell Labs, William Shockley, John Bardeen, and Walter Bardeen worked together to create the transistor, which revolutionized electronics and paved the way for modern computers. Bell Labs was an environment that fostered collaboration. The lab was designed to promote serendipitous encounters among people with different talents and specialities. The corridors were extremely long, designed to encourage spontaneous meetings and idea exchanges. This physical setup facilitated intense interactions that often led to breakthrough innovations. Isaacson emphasizes this point in the book on page 133. Bell Labs showed how sustained innovation could occur when people with a variety of talents were brought together, preferably in close physical proximity, where they could have frequent meetings and serendipitous encounters. The collaboration at Bell Labs led to the creation of the transistor, a small device that could amplify or switch electronic signals. This invention was a breakthrough in electronics, enabling the development of smaller, more efficient, and more reliable electronic devices. The impact of this invention is still felt today, as transistors are fundamental components in almost all modern electronic devices. The core lesson here for entrepreneurs and investors is clear. Innovation is collaborative. It's essential to build ecosystems that bring great minds from diverse backgrounds together. By fostering an environment that encourages collaboration and frequent interactions, you can spark creativity and drive innovation. Let me share a story about a time when collaboration across different fields led to an innovative solution. Think about the collaboration between Steve Jobs and John Lasseter at Pixar. Jobs brought his visionary thinking and business acumen, while Lasseter brought his expertise in animation and storytelling. Together, they revolutionized the animation industry with the creation of Toy Story, the first feature-length film made entirely with computer-generated imagery, CGI. This collaboration not only transformed Pixar into a major player in the film industry, but also changed the way animated films are made. Now, let's reflect on how you can apply this lesson to your own work with 3 coaching questions. The first one, who in your network can you collaborate with to enhance your projects? Are there individuals with complementary skills or perspectives who could bring fresh ideas to the table? Are there tools, processes, or cultural shifts that could foster a more collaborative environment? And the second question, how can you improve communication and collaboration within your team? And the third one, what collaborative opportunities are you overlooking? Are there potential partnerships or alliances that could accelerate your innovation efforts? As we continue the exploration of the innovators, keep in mind the importance of collaborative teamwork. Bringing together diverse talents and perspectives is key to driving innovation. Stay tuned as we delve into the next tool for innovation. Our third tool for fostering innovation focuses on the importance of treating software development as a craft. This story features Grace Hopper, a pioneer in computer programming who played a significant role in advocating for debugging and higher-level programming languages. Grace Hopper, often referred to as Amazing Grace, was a trailblazer in the field of computer science. She worked on the Harvard Mark I computer during World War II and later developed the first compiler for a computer programming language, which led to the creation of COBOL, a language still in use today. One of the most famous anecdotes about her contribution to computer science is the concept of debugging. The term originated from an incident where a moth was found causing a malfunction in the Mark II computer. Hopper and her team removed the moth and taped it to the logbook with the note, "First actual case of bug being found." This story highlights the meticulous nature of software development and the need for attention to detail. The exact quote in the book is on page 94, where Isaacson writes, "One night, the machine conked out and the crew began looking for the problem. They found a moth with a wingspan of 4 inches that had gotten smashed in one of the electromechanical relays. It was retrieved and pasted into the logbook with Scotch tape. Pen left, moth in relay, the entry noted. First actual case of bug being found. From then on, they referred to ferreting out glitches as debugging the machine. Hopper's work underscores the importance of treating coding as a craft. She believed that clear communication and standards in software development were crucial. Her advocacy for higher-level programming languages made coding more accessible and efficient, allowing more people to write complex programs. Isaacson captures Hopper's essence beautifully in the book, saying, "Amazing Grace Hopper became the patron saint of computer programmers because she saw software as a craft that could be approached creatively, collaboratively, and with the goal of making it easier for people to use computers." Moreover, it's essential to recognize the significant role women have played in the field of computer science, from the beginning with Ada Lovelace to Grace Hopper in World War II, and including pioneers like Jean Jennings, Frances Billers, and Betty Snyder. Women have always been instrumental in driving the digital revolution. Here is the core lesson for entrepreneurs and investors. Honor your employees for their skills and help them focus on developing those skills. Emphasize quality, clear communication, and high standards to build robust and reliable technology. Hopper's philosophy of software as a craft resonates deeply with me. It's about more than just writing code. It's about problem solving, creativity, and attention to detail. Just like a skilled artisan takes pride in their work, Hopper believed that programmers should strive for excellence in their code, creating tools that are not only functional, but also elegant and user-friendly. Let me share a well-known story about a time when a seemingly small software bug caused a major issue and how it was resolved. Consider the story of Mars Climate Orbiter mission in 1999. A minor software bug caused a catastrophic failure. The spacecraft was lost because one team used imperial units while the other used metric units for a key calculation. This error led to the spacecraft entering Mars' atmosphere at the wrong trajectory, causing it to disintegrate. This incident taught NASA the importance of thorough testing and the necessity of standardized communication protocols. By implementing rigorous cross-checks and fostering a culture that values meticulous attention to detail, NASA has since prevented similar issues from recurring. Now, let's reflect on how you can apply this lesson to your own work with another 3 coaching questions. The first one, how can you encourage your team to take pride in their craft and prioritize quality over speed? Are you fostering a culture of craftsmanship where attention to detail and elegant solutions are valued? How can you improve communication and collaboration within your team to ensure that your software development process is efficient and effective? Are you using tools and practices that promote clear communication and streamline workflows? And the third one, how can you create an environment that encourages experimentation and risk-taking in software development? Are you giving your team the space to explore new ideas and learn from their mistakes? As we continue our exploration of the innovators, keep Grace Hopper's example in mind, treating software development as a craft with a focus on quality and high standards. It is key to creating robust and reliable technology. Stay tuned as we delve into the next tool for innovation. Our 4th tool for fostering innovation is centered around the entrepreneurial spirit and the importance of culture and place in innovation. This story features Robert Noyce and his co-invention of the integrated circuit, as well as his role in founding Fairchild Semiconductor and Intel, which played a significant part in the birth of Silicon Valley. Robert Noyce, often called the mayor of Silicon Valley, was a key figure in the development of the integrated circuit, a groundbreaking advancement that paved the way for modern electronics. Noyce's entrepreneurial spirit and visionary leadership were instrumental in creating an environment that nurtured innovation and collaboration. Noyce and 7 other engineers, known as the Traitorous Eight, left Shockley Semiconductor Laboratory to form Fairchild Semiconductor. This bold move was driven by their frustration with Shockley's management style and their desire to create a more collaborative and innovative culture. This decision ignited the growth of Silicon Valley and set the stage for the region's transformation into a global hub of technology and innovation. Isaacson emphasizes this pivotal moment in the book. It's on page 166. The business culture that existed in this country was that you go to work for a company and you stay with that company and you retire with that company. Noyce and his colleagues broke away from this traditional mindset, embodying the rebellious spirit that would come to define Silicon Valley. On page 148, Walter Isaacson describes that scientific research is coming more and more to be recognized as a group or teamwork job. What we have for you today represents a fine example of teamwork, of brilliant individual contributions, and of the value of basic research in an industrial framework. This quote highlights the combination of collaborative teamwork and individual brilliance that Noyce and his colleagues brought to Fairchild Semiconductor and later to Intel. Their approach demonstrated that innovation thrives in an environment where diverse talents and perspectives come together. Let's focus on Fairchild Semiconductor and the lesson that ambitious people found a great place where innovators met with the right culture. The spirit of the Beat Generation, as described in the famous quote by Jack Kerouac, also influenced this culture. The only people for me are the mad ones. The ones who are mad to live, mad to talk, mad to be saved, desirous of everything at the same time. The ones who never yawn or see a commonplace thing, but burn, burn, burn like fabulous yellow Roman candles exploding like spiders across the stars. This spirit of unconventional thinking and rebellion against the status quo fueled the creativity and innovation that defined Silicon Valley. Here is the core lesson for entrepreneurs and investors. The entrepreneurial spirit and the right culture are crucial for fostering innovation. It's about creating an environment that encourages risk-taking, values diverse perspectives, and supports bold, unconventional ideas. Let me share a story about a time when taking a bold, unconventional path led to unexpected success. And consider the story of Elon Musk and SpaceX. Today, a big success, but 20 years ago it wasn't. When Musk first announced his plans to create a private company that would build reusable rockets and make space travel more affordable, many experts were skeptical. The space industry was dominated by large, established players with decades of experience. However, Musk's entrepreneurial spirit and willingness to challenge the status quo paid off. SpaceX's innovative approach to rocket design and its focus on reusability have revolutionized the space industry, making it possible to significantly reduce the cost of space travel. This bold move has not only made space exploration more accessible, but has also inspired a new generation of entrepreneurs to pursue ambitious goals in space. Now, let's reflect on how you can apply this lesson to your own work with 3 coaching questions. The first one: what are the key ingredients of a successful entrepreneurial ecosystem? Are you fostering an environment that encourages risk-taking, supports collaboration, and values diverse perspectives? Second one, how can you cultivate an entrepreneurial spirit within your team or organization? Are you providing the resources and support needed to pursue bold, unconventional ideas? And the third one, what cultural aspects of your business environment support or hinder innovation? Are you actively working to create a culture that nurtures creativity and collaboration? As we continue our exploration of the innovators, keep Robert Noyce's example in mind. The entrepreneurial spirit and the right culture are key to fostering innovation and driving transformative change. Stay tuned as we delve into our next tool for innovation. Let's turn our attention to a different facet of innovation: leadership. In the story of Robert Noyce and his colleagues at Intel, we see a new model of leadership emerge, one that would shape the culture of Silicon Valley and influence countless tech companies around the world. This story highlights the importance of a leadership style that not only nurtures innovation, but also fosters a unique culture that attracts top talent. Noyce, a brilliant engineer and visionary leader, co-founded Intel with Gordon Moore and Andy Grove, creating a trio known as Noyce Boys. They fostered a culture of meritocracy where ideas were valued over hierarchy and where employees were empowered to take risks and pursue their own initiatives. This approach was a departure from the traditional corporate structures of the time and laid the groundwork for the collaborative, fast-paced environment that defines Silicon Valley today. Noyce's leadership philosophy was rooted in meritocracy and flexibility, as Walter Isaacson describes on page 193 in the book. He believed in giving his workers autonomy and trusting them to achieve their objectives. This approach created an environment where innovation could thrive. As Isaacson notes, there were no privileges anywhere. It was a pure culture of meritocracy. He also writes on page 193, we started a form of company culture that was completely different than anything had been before. It was a culture of meritocracy. Noyce's leadership style at Intel included flattening the management hierarchy, promoting flexible work hours, and encouraging a collaborative environment. This culture was not just about hierarchy, but about fostering creativity and innovation by allowing employees the freedom to experiment and fail. Isaacson highlights this innovative leadership style in the book, writing what Grove did not realize at the time, but came to understand later, was that effective management need not always come from having one strong leader. It can also come from having the right combination of different talents at the top. This quote underscores the importance of building diverse leadership teams where individuals complement each other's strengths and weaknesses. Noyce and his colleagues also recognized the importance of flexible working conditions and flat hierarchies. They encouraged employees to set their own hours and provided ample space for spontaneous meetings and collaboration. This approach fostered a sense of ownership and autonomy among employees, allowing them to take initiative and drive innovation. Noyce's influence extended beyond Intel. The term Silicon Valley itself was coined in 1971 by journalist Don Höfler, and it stuck as a description of the region that had become synonymous with high-tech innovation. Noyce and his colleagues at Intel played a crucial role in transforming this area into the global hub of technology and entrepreneurship it is today. This leadership style, which combines vision, collaboration, and flexibility, is a powerful tool for any organization looking to foster innovation. Noyce's approach showed that effective management doesn't always come from having this one strong leader, but can come from having the right combination of different talents at the top. Arthur Roque, a key venture capitalist who supported Noyce and Intel, understood this well. He noted it was important that the trifecta become CEO in the order that they did. Noyes was a visionary who knew how to inspire people and sell the company to others when it was getting off the ground. Once that was done, Intel needed to be led by someone who could make it a pioneer in each new wave of technology. And Gordon was such a brilliant scientist, he knew how to drive the technology. Then, when there were dozens of other companies competing, we needed a hard-charging, no-nonsense manager who could focus on driving us as a business. That was growth. Let me share another story about a time when a bold, unconventional leadership approach led to unexpected success. Consider the story of Satya Nadella at Microsoft. When Nadella took over as CEO in 2014, Microsoft was seen as a struggling giant. Nadella's leadership style, which emphasized empathy, collaboration, and the growth mindset, transformed the entire organization. He broke down silos within the organization, encouraged a culture of continuous learning, and focused on cloud computing. This shift not only revitalized Microsoft's corporate culture, but also led to significant business success, with Microsoft's market value soaring under his leadership. Now, let's reflect on how you can apply this lesson to your own work with my coaching questions. The first block is, how can you create a leadership culture that fosters innovation? Are you encouraging autonomy and creativity within your team? Second block, what leadership styles have you found to be most effective in your organization? Are there ways to incorporate more flexibility and collaboration into your leadership approach? And the third one, how can you encourage a culture of meritocracy and flexible working conditions? Are you providing opportunities for your team to take risks and innovate without fear of failure? As we continue our exploration of the innovators, keep Robert Noyes' example in mind. The right leadership style can create a culture where innovation thrives and transformative ideas come to life. Stay tuned as we delve into the next tool for innovation. Let's turn our attention to a story that showcases the importance of persistence in the face of adversity. In the early 1960s, a visionary engineer named Paul Baran conceived a groundbreaking idea: packet switching, a method for breaking down data into small packets and transmitting them over a network. This innovation would lay the foundation for the internet as we know it today. However, Baran faced a formidable opponent in AT&T, the telecommunications giant that controlled the existing infrastructure. Paul Baran's groundbreaking idea of packet switching was revolutionary for data transmission. However, his journey was far from easy. When he proposed his concept to AT&T, he encountered significant resistance. Baran's idea threatened AT&T's existing infrastructure and business model. The executives at AT&T belittled his concept, lecturing him on the right way to do things, and even refused to share vital information with him. Despite facing patronizing attitudes and disbelief from senior executives entrenched in old-fashioned analog methods, Baran persevered. On page 241, Walter Isaacson describes, they fought it tooth and nail, he recalled. They tried all sorts of things to stop it. They would not even let Rand use the maps of its circuits, so Baran had to use a leaked set. Baran continued to advocate for this radical idea even when AT&T organized a series of seminars to dissuade him. After 94 speakers detailed the existing system, AT&T executives confidently asked Baran if he now understood why packet switching wouldn't work. Barron's simple no highlighted his unwavering belief in his innovative concept. This story exemplifies that true disruption requires steadfastness in the face of adversity and the courage to challenge established norms. Founders must be prepared for resistance but remain resolute in their pursuit of transformative ideas. Let me share another story about a time when persistence in the face of opposition led to a groundbreaking success. Consider the story of Steve Jobs and the creation of the iPhone. Nobody doubts today that the iPhone is a successful product, not in 27. When Jobs first proposed the idea of a touchscreen smartphone with no physical keyboard, he faced significant internal resistance from Apple's engineers and executives. Many believed that such a device would be too difficult to use and wouldn't appeal to consumers. However, Jobs persisted. He was convinced that the iPhone would revolutionize the mobile phone industry. Despite the pushback, he continued to push the project forward. The result was the launch of the iPhone in 2007, which transformed the industry and became one of the most successful products in history. Jobs' persistence in the face of adversity was key to this monumental success. Here is the core lesson for entrepreneurs and investors. True groundbreaking innovation often faces resistance. Innovators must be prepared to persist despite opposition. Now, let's reflect on how you can apply this lesson to your own work with my coaching questions. How do you handle resistance to your innovative ideas? Are you prepared to face skepticism and pushback without losing your conviction? What strategies can you use to maintain persistence in the face of adversity? Do you have a support system or mentors who can help you stay focused on your goals? How can you build resilience within your team or organization? Are you encouraging a culture that values perseverance and determination? As we continue the exploration of the innovators, keep Barron's example in mind. Persistence is crucial for achieving transformative innovation. Now let's move to the next chapter. Our seventh tool for fostering innovation emphasizes the importance of public awareness and advocacy. This story features serial entrepreneurs and their role in translating innovation into business success while advocating for public awareness. Innovation doesn't happen in a vacuum. It takes people who can translate groundbreaking ideas into practical applications and who aren't afraid to raise public awareness about their innovations, even when faced with skepticism and resistance. One of the best examples of this is the personal computer revolution of the mid-1970s. This revolution wasn't led by established companies, but by scruffy entrepreneurs working out of strip malls and garages. And as Isaacson describes in another book, sometimes don't even shower. These startup companies with names like Altair and Apple weren't just inventing new technologies, they were also advocates tirelessly promoting their vision to a skeptical public. On page 264, Walter Isaacson describes, I can't see any reason that anyone would want a computer of his own. DC President Ken Olson declared at a May 1974 meeting where his operations committee was debating whether to create a smaller version of its PDP-8 for personal consumers. As a result, the personal computer revolution, when it erupted in the mid-1970s, was led by scruffy entrepreneurs in strip malls and garages who started companies with names like Altair and Apple. Serial entrepreneurs played a crucial role in this revolution. They were able to see the potential of personal computers and worked relentlessly to bring them to market. These entrepreneurs didn't shy away from public awareness, they embraced it, knowing that their innovations would only succeed if people understood and appreciated their potential. Isaacson captures the importance of this moment, writing, "A computer created in, say, a basement in Iowa that no one writes about becomes, for history, like a tree falling in Bishop Berkeley's uninhabited forest. It's not obvious that it makes a sound." This quote emphasizes that innovation is not just about the technology itself, but also about the awareness and adoption of that technology. Roberts was a serial entrepreneur, always seeking new opportunities and challenges. His tireless efforts to promote the Altair 8800 through magazines and hobbyist groups helped raise public awareness of personal computing and pave the way for the widespread adoption of this revolutionary technology. This highlights the important role that entrepreneurs play in translating innovation into practical applications and bringing new technologies to the masses. Even when Elon Musk says that a good product sells itself without marketing, it's not entirely true. When you look at X.com, what he does there, it's just day in and day out, 24/7, raising awareness for his vision, for his companies like SpaceX and Tesla. Let me share another story about the impact of public awareness and advocacy. Consider Steve Jobs and the introduction of the first Apple Macintosh in 1984. Jobs didn't just create a groundbreaking product, he made sure the world knew about it. The famous 1984 commercial, directed by Ridley Scott and aired during the Super Bowl, was a bold move to introduce the Macintosh to the public. This commercial not only created immense public interest, but also positioned Apple as a revolutionary force in the computer industry. Jobs' ability to generate public awareness was crucial to the Macintosh's success and is a perfect example of how advocacy can translate innovation into business success. Here's the core lesson for entrepreneurs and investors: increase public awareness, and effectively advocating for your ideas are crucial steps in translating your innovation into business success. Now, let's reflect on how you can apply this lesson to your own work with my coaching questions. How can you increase public awareness of your innovative ideas? Go on a podcast, for example. Are there platforms or strategies you haven't yet explored to reach a wider audience? What steps can you take to effectively translate innovation into business success? Are you focusing enough on marketing and advocacy as part of your strategy? How can you advocate for your ideas in the face of skepticism? Do you have a plan for addressing doubts and building trust with your audience? As we continue our exploration of the innovators, keep in mind the importance of public awareness and advocacy. It's not enough to have a great idea. You need to ensure the world knows about it and understands its value. So stay tuned as we delve into our next tool for innovation. Now let's turn our attention to a tool that's often at the heart of successful businesses. What do you think it is? It's customer centricity. This is the story of young Bill Gates, a brilliant teenager who not only possessed exceptional coding skills, but also had an uncanny ability to understand what customers wanted. His approach to making software accessible created a loyal customer base, driving Microsoft's success. Bill Gates understood the significance of customer needs from the very beginning. One of the key stories that illustrate this is the development of the basic programming language. Initially, Gates complained about hobbyists not paying for the software, but he soon realized that allowing students to use the software for free created a huge fan base. These students, having become familiar with BASIC or Microsoft DOS, would later demand it in their professional environments, ensuring a steady customer base for Microsoft. Gates' customer-centric approach didn't stop here. When Microsoft struck a deal with IBM for MS-DOS, Gates demonstrated a profound understanding of the market and customer needs. Instead of just providing a one-time solution, he ensured that Microsoft retained the rights to sell DOS to other companies, not just IBM. This strategic move not only capitalized on IBM's market presence, but also allowed Microsoft to dominate the software market as other hardware manufacturers adopted Microsoft DOS. This strategic move not only capitalized on IBM's market presence, but also allowed Microsoft to dominate the software market as other hardware manufacturers adopted Microsoft DOS. Let me share more about this strategic move. Gates, Steve Ballmer, and Microsoft's Bob O'Rear met with IBM in Boca Raton and agreed that Microsoft would coordinate the software development process for the personal computer. According to Allen, under the contract signed that November, IBM agreed to pay Microsoft a total of $430,000, including $35,000 for what would end up being called DOS, Disk Operating System, $310,000 for various 16-bit languages, and $75,000 for adaptations, testing, and consultation. What's notable is that IBM was expecting Microsoft to ask for far more money upfront, or at least for a per-copy royalty. Instead, Microsoft wanted the ability to sell this disk operating system to other companies. This strategic move proved to be a masterstroke, as it allowed Microsoft to license MS-DOS to countless other computer manufacturers, establishing it as the industry standard and solidifying Microsoft's dominance in the software market. Gates' ability to focus on customer needs and market potential was a driving force behind Microsoft's success. He knew that making software accessible and understanding the market dynamics were crucial steps in building a loyal customer base and ensuring long-term success. Here's the core lesson for entrepreneurs and investors. Understanding and prioritizing customer needs is fundamental to driving technology adoption and business success. Now, let's reflect on how you can apply this lesson to your own work with my coaching questions. How can you better understand and prioritize your customers' needs? Are you actively seeking feedback and adapting your products or services accordingly? What strategies can you implement to build a loyal customer base? Are you offering value that will keep your customers coming back and advocating for your brand? How can you ensure your products or services remain relevant to your target audience? Are you staying ahead of market trends and continuously innovating to meet evolving customer demands? As we continue the exploration of the innovators, keep Bill Gates' example in mind. Customer centricity is key to building a successful and enduring business. Now let's jump to the next chapter, only two left. The ninth tool for fostering innovation highlights the winning combination of technical expertise and business acumen right from the start. This story featured the collaboration between Tim Berners-Lee and Robert Cailliau in developing the World Wide Web. Tim Berners-Lee and Robert formed a partnership that exemplified the successful collaboration between a visionary product designer and a diligent project manager. Berners-Lee, the technical genius behind the idea, needed someone who could handle the planning and organizational work. Robert stepped in to clear the way for Berners-Lee to focus on developing the software. This dynamic allowed Berners-Lee to bury his head in the bits while Robert managed the practical aspects. They formed a partnership often seen in innovative teams. The visionary product designer paired with the diligent project manager. Robert, who loved planning and organizational work, cleared the way, he said, for Berners-Lee to bury his head in the bits and develop his software. Robert's first significant contribution was refining the funding proposal that Berners-Lee had submitted to CERN administrators. He made it less vague while keeping it exciting. Robert also pushed for a catchier name for the project, ultimately leading to the name World Wide Web, or WWW. This collaboration between a technical expert and a business-minded individual was crucial in bringing the web as we know it today to life. Let's delve into an anecdote from the book to illustrate this collaboration further. When Tim and Robert were working on the proposal for what would become the World Wide Web, Robert realized that Berners-Lee didn't quite understand the concept of project planning. Robert took charge of sharpening the funding proposal and making it less vague, ensuring it was both clear and exciting. He also insisted on a catchier name than Berners-Lee's initial suggestions, ultimately leading to the iconic name World Wide Web. This collaboration allowed Berners-Lee to focus on the technical aspects while Robert handled the organizational details, showcasing the power of combining technical and business expertise. The lesson here is clear and intentionally repetitive. Successful innovation often requires the seamless integration of technical and business skills. The collaboration between Berners-Lee and Robert was instrumental in the development and success of the World Wide Web. Here is the core lesson for entrepreneurs and investors. Fostering collaboration between technical and business teams is crucial for innovation. Now, let's reflect on how you can apply this lesson to your own work with my coaching questions. How can you facilitate collaboration between technical and business teams? Are there structures or processes you can put in place to encourage this collaboration? What can you learn from successful collaborations between technical experts and business leaders? Can you identify examples within your industry and analyze what made them successful? How can you ensure that both technical and business perspectives are considered in your projects? Are you creating opportunities for both sides to contribute their expertise and insights? Now, as we continue our exploration of the innovators, keep the example of Tim and Robert in mind. Successful innovation often hinges on the collaboration between technical and business minds. Stay tuned as we delve into the next tool for innovation. As we reach the end of our journey through the innovators, let's reflect on a tool that's woven throughout the entire book, the power of collaborative ecosystems. This story highlights the diverse communities and talents that started the digital revolution, such as Ada Lovelace, Lord Byron, Mary Shelley, and Charles Babbage. The digital revolution didn't start in a vacuum. It was the product of a collaborative ecosystem bringing together diverse minds and talents. Ada Lovelace, the visionary mathematician, Charles Babbage, the mechanical engineer, and even creative figures like Lord Byron and Mary Shelley played roles in shaping the environment that led to groundbreaking innovations. This mix of arts and sciences, creativity and engineering is what spurred the kind of imaginative thinking necessary for true innovation. Later on, it was paired with business mindset and brought forth companies like Microsoft or Apple. First and foremost is that creativity is a collaborative process. Innovation comes from teams more often than from the light bulb moments of lone geniuses, as Walter Isaacson describes on page 479 in his book. And here now I have it. This was true of every era of creative ferment. The scientific revolution, the Enlightenment, and the Industrial Revolution all had their institutions for collaborative work and their networks for sharing ideas. Isaacson emphasizes that the most successful endeavors in the digital age were led by individuals who fostered collaboration while providing a clear vision. He points out that even brilliant individuals who couldn't collaborate tended to fail. For instance, Shockley Semiconductor disintegrated due to poor collaboration, while companies like Apple thrived when leaders like Steve Jobs inspired strong team loyalty and collaboration. As we close out our exploration of the innovators, I want to highlight the importance of building collaborative ecosystems that resemble Silicon Valley. Diverse communities with varied talents and backgrounds, embracing failure, meritocracy, and capitalism are essential for driving future innovation. Silicon Valley stands as a testament to the power of collaborative ecosystems. It's a place where entrepreneurs, engineers, investors, and academics come together to create, innovate, and disrupt. But the principles that have made Silicon Valley a global hub of innovation are not limited to a single location. They can be applied anywhere in the world, in any industry, to foster creativity and drive progress. Here is the core lesson for entrepreneurs and investors. Fostering diverse and collaborative ecosystems is essential for innovation. Now, let's reflect on how you can apply this lesson to your work with my coaching questions. The first one, how can you build a diverse and collaborative ecosystem in your organization or community? Are there ways to bring together people with different backgrounds, experiences, and perspectives to foster innovation? What steps can you take to embrace failure, meritocracy, and capitalism to drive innovation? How can you create an environment where ideas are judged on their merit and failure is seen as a learning opportunity? How can you encourage collaboration across different fields and backgrounds to spur creativity? Are there structures or initiatives you can implement to facilitate cross-disciplinary collaboration? As we now conclude the innovators, remember the importance of building collaborative ecosystems. Innovation thrives in environments where diverse talents come together, where failure is embraced, and where meritocracy and capitalism drive progress. And now to the final sections of this book review, the key takeaways, personal reflection, and critique. As we wrap up our exploration of the innovators, let's recap the 10 essential tools we have uncovered and reflect on their relevance for entrepreneurs and investors like yourselves. The first tool is visionary thinking. Ada Lovelace visionary thinking reminds us that innovation begins with pure imagination. It's about seeing beyond the present and envisioning the future potential of technology. As an investor, I'm always looking for companies who can articulate a compelling vision for the future, one that inspires others and drives their team towards a common goal. The second tool is collaborative teamwork. The story of the Bell Labs transistor team underscores the power of collaboration. Innovation thrives when diverse minds come together, each bringing unique skills and perspectives to the table. As an entrepreneur, I have learned firsthand that building a strong team is crucial for success. It's not just about individual brilliance, it's about creating a collaborative environment where everyone feels valued and empowered to contribute their best work. And on the contrary, companies who don't do that fail. The third tool is craftsmanship in any kind of development work. Grace Hopper's emphasis on software as a craft highlights the importance of quality, attention to detail, and clear communication. In my own experience, I've seen how a focus on craftsmanship can lead to more robust, reliable, and user-friendly products. It's an approach that I believe should be embraced by all development teams. The fourth tool is the entrepreneurial spirit and fostering a culture of innovation. Robert Noyce and the birth of Silicon Valley demonstrate the power of entrepreneurial spirit and the importance of creating a culture that fosters innovation. As an investor, I'm drawn to companies that embody this spirit, those that are not afraid to challenge the status quo and pursue ambitious goals. I believe that the culture of innovation is essential for long-term success in any industry. The fifth one is leadership that breeds innovation. Noyce's leadership style at Intel, characterized by meritocracy, flexibility, and collaboration, serves as a model for inspiring innovation within teams. In my own leadership journey, I strive to create an environment where everyone feels empowered to contribute their ideas and where talent is recognized and rewarded, like the people I invite to my podcast. The tool number 6 is persistent innovation. Paul Barron's unwavering belief in packet switching, despite facing resistance from the incumbent AT&T, highlights the importance of persistence in the face of adversity. As an entrepreneur, I have learned that the road to innovation is rarely smooth. There will be setbacks and obstacles, but it's important to stay focused on your vision and persevere through challenges. The seventh tool is public awareness and advocacy. Ed Roberts and the rise of personal computing demonstrate the power of public awareness and advocacy. It's not enough to have a great idea. You need to make sure the world knows about it and understands its value. As an investor, I look for founders who are not only passionate about their product, but also skilled at communicating its potential to a wider audience. Tool number 8 is customer centricity. Bill Gates' early focus on customer needs and his strategic approach to the IBM deal underscored the importance of understanding and prioritizing your customers. In my own work, I've seen how a customer-centric approach can lead to more successful products, stronger brand loyalty, and ultimately greater business success. The ninth tool is technician collaborating with business minds. The collaboration between Tim Berners-Lee and his colleague Roberts in creating the World Wide Web highlights the importance of bringing together technical and business-oriented individuals. In my experience, the most successful companies are those that have a strong partnership between their technical and business teams, working together to create products and services that meet customer needs and drive innovation. And the 10th tool is building collaborative ecosystems. And I see this responsibility especially with our politicians, regulators, and also with the larger venture funds. Finally, the story of the diverse communities that shaped the digital revolution reminds us of the power of collaborative ecosystems. By fostering collaboration, embracing diversity, and creating environments that support innovation, we can unlock our full potential and create a better future for all. Reading The Innovators has been a truly inspiring experience for me. It's highlighted the intricate interplay of individual brilliance, collaborative teamwork, and the broader ecosystem that supports innovation. The book's emphasis on collaboration resonates deeply with my own experiences. I have seen firsthand how diverse teams working together with a shared vision can achieve remarkable results. Additionally, the book has sparked a deeper appreciation for the unsung heroes of the digital age, the individuals whose contribution may not always make headlines, but have nevertheless played a crucial role in shaping our world. Isaacson's ability to bring these stories to life, highlighting the personalities and motivations behind the innovations, makes The Innovators a truly compelling read. While the book celebrates collaboration, it sometimes glosses over the conflicts and challenges within these teams, highlighting the struggles, the fights, as much as the successes could provide a more balanced view. Additionally, I would have appreciated a deeper dive into the business and deal-making aspects of the digital revolution. While the book excels at highlighting the technological advancements and the collaborative efforts behind them, it could have explored further how these innovations were translated into successful businesses. In conclusion, The Innovators is an essential read for anyone interested in the history of technology and the lessons it holds for future innovation. By understanding the collaborative efforts that drove past innovations, entrepreneurs and investors can better navigate the complexities of today's technological landscape. Despite this minor critique, The Innovators remains a must-read for anyone interested in the history of technology and the power of collaboration. It offers valuable lessons for innovators, entrepreneurs, and investors alike. And as we look to the future, I hope to see more books that explore not only the technological advancements, but also the business and economic factors that drive innovation, ultimately leading to a deeper understanding of how to create a more prosperous and equitable world. So if you're intrigued by the stories and lessons we have discussed today, I highly recommend picking up a copy of The Innovators. It's a fascinating read that will leave you inspired and equipped with new perspectives on the power of collaboration and the drivers of innovation. You can find a link to the book in the description of this episode. Today, we have explored the captivating world of The Innovators by Walter Isaacson. We have uncovered 10 essential tools that have fueled innovation throughout history, from visionary thinking and collaborative teamwork to customer centricity and the power of building diverse ecosystems. We have learned from the stories of pioneers like Ada Lovelace, Robert Noyce, Grace Hopper, Steve Jobs, and Bill Gates, and we have reflected on how we can apply these lessons to our own work and lives. Thank you again for joining me on this journey through The Innovators. I hope you found this episode informative and inspiring. If you enjoyed this book review, please consider sharing it with your friends and colleagues. And if you have any thoughts or questions, I'd love to hear from you. Leave a comment or connect with me on social media. Your feedback is invaluable to me. In the next episode, we will be diving into another fascinating book that explores the intersection of technology and society. We will be discussing The Founders by Jimmy Soni, a thought-provoking look at the early days of today's famous entrepreneurs, called the PayPal Mafia. So stay tuned for another insightful and engaging conversation. Until then, keep innovating, keep collaborating, and keep pushing the boundaries of what's possible.